The Rana Plaza collapse in 2013 is still to this day considered the deadliest garment factory accident in history. Of who was found, 1,129 people died.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
We didn't want to go up to the factory this morning, but the management forced us to go.
The emergence of fast fashion.
In 11 hours, we were trapped.
The Rana Plaza disaster triggered a change in the industry, yet no improvements have been made since. We're here to find out what you can do to help make fashion fair. You probably don't realise how much you waste, and the numbers are shocking. Britain alone wastes 1.5 million tonnes of clothing each year. That's the same as 123,000 double-decker buses. That means we each throw an average of 30 kilos away each year. Around the world, UK clothing retailers underpay workers in third world countries, whilst British shoppers buy and throw away without thinking about the cost. This is called fast fashion.
It's such a repetitive industry that it's kind of unnecessary, the amount that's produced and the speed at that it's produced, and not much consideration to the workers. A typical example of fast fashion would be high street brands like H&M. They'll have new stock in every single week, rather than in traditional fashion houses you'll have 4 seasons spread evenly across the year. But fast fashion is just the extreme, so they'll design it Monday, send it off to Bangladesh Wednesday, have it in the stores the following week. Very fast.
One of the more well-known ways to make fashion more sustainable is by buying fair trade. We visited Gabriel's Wharf to speak to owner of fair trade shop, Ganesha.
We'll be looking at not just at the actual pay of the workers, but also about the working conditions. Our fair trade goods are not necessarily that much higher. I think there's a perception that it's higher, but it's not necessarily so. When it comes to actual products, most of the price actually goes into actually brand and nothing to do with actual manufacture costs. In some ways you can cut costs if you're reaching more directly to the supplier. It's very difficult in a global market because fashion groups have got the opportunity to go from one supplier to another supplier. So it's very difficult for producers overseas to actually increase their wages. So there's a real problem with oversupply, really.
Which brings us to the Fashion Revolution, a London-based company that works to stand against the fashion machine. One way to raise your voice is to take a selfie showing your label, follow the brand on social media and upload your photo thanking the people who made your clothes.
I think it's good making that connection between what you're wearing and the person who made it, just by showing the label. They encourage people to wear the clothing inside out on a certain day of the year. I'd wear my clothes inside out.
Is fashion sustainable? Is fashion fair? These questions have been asked for a while now. We visited Sian Berry, the London mayoral candidate for the Green Party, to ask her what Londoners can do to make a change.
Yeah, I think fair trade fashion is vital actually, because a lot of the things that we make clothes out of, cotton and things like that, have to come from countries that are far away. It's very important that we have fair trade, that we support local growers there, we make sure they get a fair deal. One of the major problems we've got with the cotton trade, for example, is the amount of water it uses up, the amount of enormous environmental impact it has, as well as the conditions of the workers. Thinking about the origin of where your clothes come from, trying to make sure that you buy things that last as well, because throwing things away is a real problem. So there's an awful lot you can do, and just people raising awareness of it means that your average person is going to think about it a little bit more on a day-to-day basis, and that will make a difference.
Throughout history, people have fought for their rights, for fair wages, to live in a safe and sustainable way. The real question is, how would you feel if it was the other way around? The time is now to raise your voice, to change the way you shop and make fashion fair.